Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the 2020 Global Read Aloud. I am Mr. Sardlow, and today we are reading the book Planet Omar Accidental Trouble Magnet, and we are already up to chapter 20, which means there's only a few chapters in this book left. You can kind of see that there's not much left in the book to read. So last we left off, Omar and Daniel are both kind of lost in the subway system, and they're trying to find the museum that they were supposed to go to for their field trip. But they got to kind of navigate the subway system and, the big city of London on their own, and they're only kids. So, that's pretty scary and pretty hard. Okay, so Omar is trying to kind of be like the hero in this situation and help out Daniel because as Zanimian, as the author, has been kind of explaining, and Omar has been explaining as the narrator, Daniel is feeling very scared about what is going on and the fact that they are lost. Okay, so chapter 20, let's go ahead and get started. It was the scariest thing I'd ever seen. It was terrifying and hairy, and it stank. It stank so bad. It was kind of like a man because it had a head and a body and arms and legs. But it wasn't a man, and it was dirty. So dirty. My brain told me it was a zombie. Daniel screamed too. We both ran down a long road. I looked over my shoulder. The zombie was still coming with its arms out, trying to grab us. I ran harder. When I couldn't see him anymore, I stopped and tried to catch my breath. Daniel, on the other hand, threw himself onto the sidewalk and started wailing like never before. Okay, so they were running away, and then Daniel just kind of was laying down on the sidewalk, I guess, and crying. I wasn't well trained in dealing with crying bullies or zombies. I took a deep breath and imagined H2O flying down to help us, swooping around to keep an eye out in case the zombie turned up again. And then I sat down next to Daniel on the sidewalk, even though there was loads of gross, dried-up chewing gum on it. I told him it was going to be okay. When I said that, I felt like a liar because I was scared too, and I didn't really know if it was going to be okay. But that's what grown-ups always say when someone is crying, so I said it. Grown-ups, what would they do right now? Daniel, what would your parents do if they were lost? Daniel, what would your parents do if they were lost? Daniel wiped some snot from his nose with the back of his hand. They would look for the way on their phones. Right, we don't have phones. What would yours do if they were in trouble and were going to die like us? I had to try very hard not to laugh at how dramatic Daniel was being. He actually thought this was the end of the world. Well, the zombie thing was quite scary, but H2O didn't have to hold back, so I imagined him rolling on the floor laughing instead. Well, anytime there's a big problem, my parents always ask Allah. There's one thing they keep telling me a lot, to ask Allah for everything. They say it every day. Daniel sat up. There was something suddenly different about his face. I think it was hope. And did you? He asked. No, I forgot, I said sheepishly. Ask him, shouted Daniel, and for a moment I thought he was going to become the bully Daniel again, but he just sat there waiting with big, hopeful eyes. I closed my eyes and whispered a few words in English. I didn't know the exact Arabic prayer for being lost with a bully and being chased by a zombie, but my dad said that Allah knows all the languages in the universe, so we can talk to him however we need to. Allah, I am sorry I forgot to ask you before, but we're kind of lost and we need your help. We lost all our teachers and we don't know where they are. We don't even know where we are, actually, and also there might be a zombie trying to catch us. I'm trying to look after Daniel, but he keeps crying a lot. Please, can you help us? I don't know how, but I guess you know. Thank you. I love you. I opened my eyes to find Daniel's face right next to mine. Well, did you ask him? Is he going to help us? Of course he will. Allah always helps. But do you think he heard you? You were whispering so quietly I couldn't even hear you, and I'm right next to you. Yes, he did. He's God, I said in my well, duh voice. But then I realized I should be kinder and explained, God can hear everything, even whispers, and even what you're saying to yourself in your own head. Oh, okay, said Daniel. Then, because Daniel still looked so frightened and sad, I said, "Don't worry. You'll get back home to your mom and dad, and so will I. Yeah, if they even notice I'm gone, or if they even care." "Of course they care. That's what parents do. Anyway, I think you're a bit hard to miss. I mean, if you weren't there, I would notice." "Really?" "Super definitely." Daniel seemed pleased to hear that for like 0.8 seconds, then his shoulders drooped again. "Yes, but my parents, all they care about is my little sister Susie because she's always in the hospital." Is she going to be okay?" "I don't know. She's always sick and having operations." He started wailing again as if something was hurting a whole lot. "And I do care about her. I do. But what about me? I might as well not be there. I just get in the way when they need to look after her." Poor Daniel. I felt a little lump in my throat, and I stared at him because I didn't know what to say. So I just moved closer to him, even though he stank of pee, and I said, "I don't know what I would do if that happened to me." Daniel looked at me as if I had said something that really, really helped. But I had just said the truth because I didn't know what else to say. He sniffed really hard and wiped his eyes before looking up at me like he was waiting for me to say more. So I said, "Yeah, you must be a really strong person." I mean, like strong inside, not strong like Batman. Although I think Batman is strong inside as well. Daniel smiled a snotty smile. Is this the first time he's ever smiled at me? I thought. That felt really weird. Didn't he hate me? "So what now? Do we just sit here?" asked Daniel. "I don't think so. The zombie might find us." "What then? Let's walk." Okay? The end of chapter 20. All right, next time we will have chapter 21. But what did we learn in this chapter, okay? Daniel is still very scared to kind of be lost with Omar. They think a zombie is chasing them. I don't know what that's about. I think that's kind of like Omar letting his imagination run away with him. But we also learned a little bit about Daniel in this chapter, too. So apparently Daniel has a little sister named Susie, and his little sister Susie is frequently sick. Okay, and she's also got to go to the hospital all the time to get like operations and things like that. Okay, so it doesn't sound like it's a very good situation for Daniel because with his little sister being sick all the time, and it sounds like pretty seriously sick, his parents pay more attention to that than to him. Okay, so he is not getting all the attention that he feels like he needs. So Omar is kind of understanding a little bit more where Daniel is coming from. All right, and we will find out more about that when we read chapter 21 next time. See you guys later.